Hello and welcome to Road to Rank 1, a series where I try to hit Rank 1 with the latest limited set, and the set we're doing now is Modern Horizons 3. This is draft number 2. We had a very clean 7-0 trophy in the last draft, so hopefully we can continue that again, and maybe we can rival the start that we had in OTJ, where we kind of started with an incredible start, so hoping to do that again. Now, before this draft starts, I did want to say, very special announcement. This channel now has its very first sponsor. This channel is brought to you by HeavyPlay.com. HeavyPlay.com is a card gaming accessories brand where you can really pick up a lot of amazing quality products here. They have access to deck boxes, they have special dice boxes, and playmats. And the cool thing about this is the fact that, you see this? Here. Yeah, as you can tell, this is my first ad read, right? But the playmats, the deck boxes and the dice boxes are also magnetic, so they actually stick onto your playmat. So I got to take a look at these products, and I will say, I was just really impressed with just the quality of these products. So if you're going to go to your local store, I highly recommend them. HeavyPlay.com/paulcheon is the link that you would need to go to get a 10% discount on your first purchase. All right, let's hop in to the very first draft here. Excuse me, the second draft, and see if we can open or follow up the last finish. Okay, what do we have? Let's take a look at the pack in this manner. We have Party Thrasher, 2 mana for 1/4. I get to discard a card in my pre-combat main, then exile the top 2 cards of your library, then choose one, and I may play that this turn. That seems pretty cool. Among the commons, I like Tune to Narrative. It gives you energy. I think that's probably the best, or Serum Visionary. The others are just whatever. And then at uncommon, there's Path of Annihilation, which is an excellent Eldrazi ramp card, and Solar Transformer, which is also an excellent ramp effect, but it's also good in your energy deck. So I think Solar Transformer is just a good card in any deck. It's colorless, whereas Party Thrasher is just a card that's good in a red deck. So I feel like any deck that I draft that's not super aggressive is going to want the Solar Transformer. The energy deck or the Eldrazi ramp decks are going to want this. So I want to try taking the Solar Transformer here over the Path of Annihilation and kind of see where the draft goes. So let's start with the colorless card, because you can't really go too wrong first picking a colorless card. All right, what do we have in this pack? The rare here is Wooded Foothill, so we don't care too much about that. We have Wormcoil Larva, which is a pretty nice top-end artifact card. This is good in the sacrifice deck. Also, it acts as a nice artifact. It acts as a nice card you can play in the sacrifice deck. Horrific Assault is probably the best common in this pack. This is just a really good bite spell. And then we have the spell land here in the Disciple of Freyalise. If we want it to be green, that's something that we could play. It acts as a land, and also in the late game, you can play this and draw a bunch of cards, which I do think can be quite powerful. So, do I want something like a Disciple of Freyalise, a Horrific Assault, or the Wormcoil Larva? I think generally in ramp, I'm kind of just interested in all the spell lands. I've just been really impressed with them. So I just feel like you can't go too wrong by taking these. So I think I'm going to take the Disciple of Freyalise. It might be just better than the Horrific Assault, just because this does double as a creature in the late game. Moving on to pack number 3, we have Fel the Profane. This card is premium. It's a land that also, for 4 mana, you can kill anything. So unconditional removal that also acts as a land. I do think Fel the Profane is better than the other removal spell in this pack in Breathe Your Last. Now, this is a more efficient removal spell, but you can't play this as a land, and I think there's a lot of value that you gain for, of course, having a spell be a land. Outside of that, double retrofitted Transmogrant is whatever. Idol of the False Gods can be interesting in a pure Eldrazi deck. There's also Expanding Ooze, which can be pretty nice in the black-green Adapt deck, but I do put a pretty high priority on removal. So let's go ahead and take Fel the Profane here. I do think this card is excellent, and starting the draft off with a bunch of spell lands once again. Maybe that's the secret to the format. We'll see. Taking a look at this. Now remember, we took this Disciple. This doesn't mean that we're green. Here we have a lot of different options. If we want it to be blue and black, there's Copy Crook, which is a nice clone effect. There's Mindless Conscription, which is a nice payoff for a blue-black deck. Every time you draw a third card, you amass 3. There's Horrid Shadow Spinner, which I do think is worse than the Mindless Conscription, but it's a 3-mana 2/3 lifelinker that basically when you attack, you get to trigger the draw 3 cards effect. There's Sneaky Snacker, which is okay. But I feel like all these cards are likely worse than Horrific Assault. This is an excellent bite spell. It just costs 1 mana, so it's a really cheap, efficient bite spell. And if you have an Eldrazi in play, it gains you 3 life. I feel like you can't go too wrong with that. But we are also seeing a lot of blue-black cards, so that's also tempting. But I'm going to go with the Horrific Assault because we do have this Disciple of Fraelis already, and see if we can end up drafting more of a green-black deck instead of the blue-black deck. And now we have this pack where there's a Waterscape Battle Mage. This card is phenomenal. If you have ways to generate colorless mana, for 3 mana, it's a Reclamation Sage, and then for 5 mana, if you have blue and green mana, it's a Reclamation Sage that also can bounce something. I do think this is definitely the card to take here. Green does have ways to generate colorless mana. There's a couple of landscapes here which are fine, but I think I'd much rather have the Wastecape Battle Mage here and see where we end up. See what colors we're going to want to actually be with what we have. Here we have Creation of Avacyn. I do not think this card is good. I think it's far too slow, so not something that I'm interested in. It's just a really slow tutor effect. For removal options, we have Accursed Marauder, which is just kind of a 2-mana 2/1. I can sack anything. It's replacement level. I'm not too high on it. Now, we took Dispel the Profane, but black might not be super open. We shall see. There is a Drownyard Lurker and a Sage of the Unknowable. Those are kind of the cards that I'm looking at. I'm kind of looking at Drownyard Lurker here. If I do end up being a blue-green deck, especially given that we have the Wastecape Battle Mage, it's just a fine top-end card to have. And I mean, there's also a world where we can be blue-green, or you can just cast this as well. It's not the end of the world. So I'll take this, but we'll see where things go. But certainly here in this pack, I mean, Metastatic Evangel is a great creature in the white decks. It's a 2-mana 3/1 that proliferates, but don't think we want that here. Sneaky Snacker, so blue-black is also pretty open, but I'm going to take Breathe Your Last. This is just a premium removal card. Seeing this in the pack with 7 cards left does make me feel pretty good about at least being black and trying to figure out what the second color is going to be, but black definitely seems open with Breathe Your Last and Fel the Profane. But now we're seeing blue cards, so it seems like green might be getting cut off. We did see the Horrific Assault. We have been seeing some blue-black cards, but there's also a late Galvanic Discharge. That's pretty crazy to see a Galvanic Discharge this late. But I feel like I didn't see a lot of other red, so I feel like I want to be blue more than I want to be black. And if I want to be blue-black specifically, I think I want Serum Visionary over the Aether Spike. So I will take the Serum Visionary. It just felt like I've seen more blue-black cards than red cards. And then, of course, there's a pack with the Party Threat. Look, it's early in the format. You're just going to see some really ridiculous packs. I mean, Path of Annihilation should not have tabled. People are just underrating this. But also Tune to Narrative and Party Thrasher are still in this pack. Man. I really don't know what to take. I'm going to take Path of Annihilation, I guess. We did see some of those red cards. Maybe I'm supposed to take the Party Thrasher, but I do think Path of Annihilation is excellent. So I will take it here and try to figure out where we need to be. Here we have Kami of Jealous Thirst versus Refurbished Familiar. Refurbished Familiar is a lot better in the black-red artifact deck. Otherwise, it's okay. It's not insane. Kami of Jealous Thirst is pretty decent if you're blue-black. I'll take the Refurbished Familiar because it's a 2-for-1, and I can see a world where I end up having some more artifacts. And now we have Serpadian Simulacrum or Urza's Cave. This is a way to have colorless mana and gets us whatever color we need in the late game. So I will take this as just a colorless mana source, but we'll see where things go. And now there's a Sneaky Snacker, and it does feel like we probably want to be blue-black. Maybe that Path of Annihilation tabling was just kind of a randomness thing where people just don't like the card very much. So let's go ahead and do this and still try to figure out where it is that we need to be. We have a few green cards, a few blue cards, a few black cards. We're just kind of all over the place. We could have been red, but now we're not going to be red. So taking a look at this pack, Jeez. Okay. We have Marionette Apprentice, which is a 2-mana 1/2 Fabricate creature. Pretty solid card, right? It's a 2-mana 1/2 that makes a 1/1. There's Drowner of Truth, which I think is going to be the card that I take. It's just a spell land. It taps for blue and green mana, and the late game also gives you an Eldrazi. So I think this is just going to be an excellent finisher that I have in any deck, and this will basically make my deck 100% of the time, because I will be blue or green, right? So let's go ahead and take this. Even in a blue-black control deck, this is something I am very interested in. And we'll move on here. Now we have a Wither and Bloom, which is just an excellent removal spell. -3/-3, or put a +1/+1 counter on something. And then there's also Ether Spike, which is also a fine interactive spell. I think it's going to be between the two, and I'm just going to take the Wither and Bloom. There's also Glaring Fleshraker, but let's just make sure we have good interaction. We already have Fell the Profane and Breathe Your Last, so let's go ahead and take the Wither and Bloom and just at least know that we're going to be black and figure out our second color. I don't mind being blue-black or black-green, so that's going to be kind of where I'm looking. There's a Snapping Void Craw, but that's a blue-green card. There's a Glasswing Grace. This card is pretty fantastic, even if you're just black. The fact that this just acts as a tap land or in the late game, just as a way to give something +2/+2 flying and lifelink. I do love this card, so I will take the Glasswing Grace, just because I do know that I'm black. And move on. Now what do we have? Well, we have a couple of options. We have, wow, Writhing Chrysalis. You know how much of a sucker I am for this card. But we have the option between Basking Broodscale, and if we're going to be green-black, this card is amazing, or Ether Spike, which is just a solid counter spell. So, do we want to be green-black or blue-black? I think this is just a really great 2-drop. So I will take the Basking Broodscale over the Ether Spike. I think it's worth taking. There's It That Heralds the End, but I think this is a lot better in a very, very dedicated Eldrazi ramp deck, which typically tends to be the Temur colors. And we could end up being some kind of a green-black deck that's doing the adapt thing. So for that reason, I will take the Broodscale here. Now we have what? Branching Evolution. That's kind of cool if you have a lot of +1/+1 counters things going. We have a Wither and Bloom. That's it though. So not a whole lot there. I mean, I anticipate getting some adapt cards, but don't have any now. There is a Breaker of Creation, which can be excellent if I can cast it, and It That Heralds the End. I'm a sucker for this card. I'm going to try to figure out a way to cast this card. I think this card is fantastic. Maybe a green-black Eldrazi deck. Maybe splashing like Drownyard Lurker and the blue on Wastegate Battle Mage. We shall see. All right, so now we have a little bit of direction here. We can try to figure out what to do with the rest of the deck. Here we have access to It That Heralds the End. We're seeing a million of these. Should I take it here? Or do I take a Bountiful Landscape, which is a colorless land that gives me green mana and also lets me splash blue? I'll take It That Heralds the End. I feel like I have enough colorless things going on here. So let's take It That Heralds the End and kind of see where things go. And look at these packs. Oh my gosh, they are just completely loaded. Titan's Vanguard is absolutely busted. I'm going to take it and try to find a way to play this card as well. Necrobloom doesn't do much. It just landfall, make a 0/1. Writhing Chrysalis is also fantastic. And so is Expanding Ooze. But like I said, this card is absolutely busted. We're looking to be more Eldrazi focused here. So for that reason, I will take Titan's Vanguard and try to get the mana to work. And we'll note that black just seems to be getting more and more cut off here. So maybe the Serum Visionary is back on the menu. There's a Snapping Void Crawl. I gotta be flexible here, and it's really the only option out of this pack. I don't see anything that's green or black that I want. So let's take the Snapping Void Crawl in case we do have to switch back and end up being maybe a blue-green Eldrazi ramp deck, splashing red, because we're not seeing a whole lot of black here. But now we're back to a pack with black cards, right? There is an Accursed Marauder. This card is fine, not insane, but I do like it more than the Foul Strike. So I will take the Accursed Marauder here. And tread carefully. Tread carefully. That's all I'm going to say here. Not interested in any of these white cards. I do think Hunger Tide Rises is pretty bad. I'll take it because it's on color, but I don't want to play it. Now I will take a colorless source. We have several things that want colorless mana. This does give me red mana technically and black, so I'll take it here as a colorless mana. It's, you know, a take on Urza's Cave, so there's that. Here, I want to try this card. Monstrous Vortex. When you cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, discover X where X is that spell's value. I don't know if this card is good, but I want to find out. Here, there's another It that heralds the end. So, I mean, certainly we're getting pushed into drafting a more Eldrazi heavy deck, which means we probably don't want to be black. And we might have to shift gears here and just try to maybe draft more of a blue-green strategy here instead. So let's sort this a little bit better here now, given that we have a little more direction. Maybe we cut the black cards and try it to do something like this. All right, Signature Slam has got to be the pick here. This is an excellent, excellent removal spell. 3 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on something you control. Each modified creature. It's just a super clear shot. So this card is fantastic. I will take that as my second interactive spell and move on. All right. Something along these lines. Okay. Now there's a Shield Gengar. Oh, man, why do you keep doing this to me? Why do you keep doing this to me? Do I take Shield Gengar or do I just take Twisted Riddle Keeper? We saw how good this card was. I think I just have to pick a lane. I can't waffle. We got a bunch of these Eldrazi cards. We got the Path of Annihilation. I had this Monstrous Vortex that I want to try out. Granted, Shield Gengar is also good with that, but let's just go Eldrazi. We have this Titan's Vanguard, the Voidcraw. I think Shield Gengar is amazing, but we saw how good the Riddle Keeper was as well. So let's just go down this route, and this is the direction that we're headed. There's a Kappa Cannoneer here, but we don't have any artifacts. So it's just a 6-mana 5/5. I think this card can be nice in blue-red affinity or blue-white affinity, but I don't want that. I'm going to just take Wumpus Aberration. We also have a spell land, but not a lot of ways to generate energy. So I think Wumpus Aberration is just awesome in this type of deck. It's just a 4-mana 6/6 Trampler, especially if we can get some colorless sources. So let's go ahead and take that and see what else is next. So this seems like a good opportunity to take a land. I want a blue-green... Anything that's a blue-green red land. Oh, this card's perfect. Yeah, Bountiful Landscape is everything that this deck wants. It's the perfect land. It taps for colorless, blue, green, and red for the Titan's Vanguard. So that's exactly what we want. So let's slam the Bountiful Landscape here. Probably playing the Urza's Cave as well. And then probably one mountain to go with the Titan's Vanguard. Now what do we have? Nothing in blue, green, or red here, so probably just another Bountiful Landscape, to be honest. And this just means that our mana is going to be amazing. It makes it so that it's a lot easier to cast It that heralds the end, Wayscape Battlemage, Wumpus Aberration, Breaker of Creation. We just have a lot of cards that want colorless mana, so let's go ahead and take the Bountiful Landscape out of that pack and move on. Now I'm certainly interested in more big things here. There's an Expanding Ooze and a Dream Drinker Vampire if we want it to be black-green. There is a Triton Wavebreaker, which is fine. I wonder if Pyretic Rebirth is black. I'm just going to take Warp Tusker. It cycles, makes an Eldrazi, and then in the late game, it's just another big thing to cast. So let's go ahead and try that, because I really want to try this Monstrous Vortex. The only problem with this is it doesn't combo with Colossal Dreadmask. I will take this as just another expensive card, but it doesn't trigger the Vortex, sadly. But I will still take it, just because I think I'm going to be a little bit short on playables. So let's just take this as another big curve filler type card. And wow, Feigned Flame's 8th pick. I mean, I am splashing red already, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 red sources. Yeah, I'll take Fanged Flames here over Deem Inferior. I just need some extra interaction, and we are kind of straight teamer, so I think it's fine. Here, there's a Smelted Chargebug that I don't really want, so I will take a Perilous Landscape. Another colorless land that gives us red fixing. Here, I will take It that heralds the end. I mean, we have 4 Eldrazi that cost 7 mana or more, so I think this is going to be good. And we don't really have a good use of energy, so Tuned Narrative isn't great here. So I will take It that heralds the end. And I will take another colorless land. All right, so we have plenty of colorless mana, which means that heralds the end is going to be good. And given that I think I'm going to be pretty light on playables, I will probably just play this Void Pouncer. And I think our mana is good enough where we're just going to be straight teamer here. We are going to be straight Temur here. And honestly, I might even play this Glimpse the Impossible because I think the way that it shook out, our mana actually ended up being quite strong. And I am also light on playables because I had to take all these black spell lands. Maybe I even played this... yeah, we took a bunch of spell lands that didn't end up going into our deck. There's the Simulacrum here that may or may not make the deck, depending on the number of playables that we have. Okay, so this is a land, so cut a forest. This is a land, so cut a forest. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 17. I probably just want to play more lands, to be honest. So we can just probably cut. This is on the splash, like this is something that I probably want to cut. I definitely want at least one island and one mountain because I have all these ways to search. Yeah, our color fixing is amazing. I guess I can probably cut another forest and then just add maybe one of each. We have the most number of green cards, but this still gives us 9 green sources, which I think, I mean, how many green things am I even playing early, right? So I do think I have enough green, and this just gives me more of a shot to just play all my other cards on curve. All right, let's try this. A bunch of colorless mana sources, right? We have 6. We have 6 colorless mana sources, so that Heralds is going to be good. We have 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Eldrazi creatures. All right. I'm excited for this one as well. Let's see how this goes. Now, before this round 1 fires, I did want to say, if you've enjoyed the content, I also do have a Patreon channel. The link to the Patreon is in the description below. I do want to give a special shout out to all the current patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Patreon.com/paulcheon is where you will have access to the Patreon. Okay, we are on the play here with an island and a mountain. I bought some new lands here, so there you go as well. Making some upgrades here. I have 2 lands and a Serum Visionary. So if I just draw a 3rd land, I can play this, and that kind of unlocks the rest of my hand. So I'm going to keep. I'm also playing, I think, 19 lands in my deck. So I think for that reason, I also want to keep. Or is it 18? I'm not sure. Might get punished here for keeping, though, by the way. But Serum Visionary just smooths everything out. I just need to find a land, and I have a bunch of extra lands in my deck. So, a couple of draw steps here. This might have been a little bit loose, I will say. Oh, we found it, though. Perilous Landscape, colorless, boom, Serum Visionary, and now we get to just scry and try to find lands. Oof. Oof. Do I take the Solar Transformer? Oh, man. I mean, it's technically a mana source, but it's not the one that I want. I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't think I want to get too greedy here. This does slow me down significantly, but it still gives me a play. So they can't actually activate this, right? I just really hope they don't have a counterspell. If they have a counterspell, this was way, way worse. So because this taps for colorless, although I don't really need another island or a mountain, so I think I'm just going to keep the Perilous Landscape in play. So this doesn't do anything, right? You need a colorless mana to make a spawn. Oh, Hopeender Coatl? Alright, it's just a 2/2 flyer. Sneaky Snacker. Okay, so they're... Sultai Eldrazi? I don't know what's happening. Okay. But they're hitting me with flyers. That is a land. All right, so let's play Monstrous Vortex. Play this tapped. And there are these flyers, but I'm hoping that the big things that I cast will help me here. Wow, Territory Color. Oh, with the... And they have a Necrobloom? What is happening? They went really deep. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I mean, I'm gonna play this. Alright. Discover X. Yeah. Oh, and that gets a counter on it. Yes. Okay. But I'm still probably gonna lose to these flyers. We'll see. I have access to 5 mana. I have access to a lot of mana, right? 3, 4, 5, 7 mana? I'm happy for the trade here. Oh, they didn't sack their land either. I need a land. Okay. Ooh. So I can play this to... I can play this to bounce something. They also have flyers. Hold on. I can also play the Twisted Riddle Keeper and emerge this. Hold on. I think I want to play Path of Annihilation first, right? Hold. Hold. I can also play It That Heralds the End, I think. Because this makes this one cheaper, right? Does that make the emerge cost cheaper? I don't actually know. I guess I will find out. Yep, it does. Perfect. Okay. This is a lot of triggers. Okay, let's tap Warped Tusker and the Snacker, I guess. All right, Discover X, Signature Slam. Okay. I can kill something big-ish. I guess I just killed a 2/2 flyer, right? Okay. I gain 4 life. Okay. And I have a 5/5 flyer. That seemed like a pretty good turn, I'm just gonna say. This is a 6/6 as well, because I have It That Heralds the End. Okay, okay. We did things. Our build-around enchantments are doing things. We have another large thing to play. Yeah, this Dread Mask is a little awkward, I will say, but hey, I cannot complain about what I was able to pull off here. This is amazing. Reef Worm, okay. So I have this big flyer. I have this Breaker of Creation that can gain me a ton of life. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So I can play this next turn and it'll gain me a ton of life. It's more life to gain off of that. Okay. Good game, yes! Yes! Oh my gosh, that was so much value! Monstrous Vortex, let's go! Let us go. Okay, well, you know what? You know I don't like to mulligan, but this hand, 3 forests. Can't keep that one. Man, do I need to play more lands? I think I have 18 plus a Solar Transformer. I'm on the play. I don't want to go to 5. I'll keep this. I'm not particularly happy about it. Guess I'll bottom It That Heralds the End. I think I want this more. And all my other cards seem better. The question is, do I want to just fetch blue right away with this? I mean, I do have a land. I kind of want to maximize the chances of drawing a land, though. And the Solar Transformer gives me the color that I need. Okay, well. But now I can't. Now I have to use the energy a bunch. But hopefully that's okay. Oh, I don't have to. Wow, okay. So they do have 2 mana available. This is interesting. What do I play? I think I just go for the Gusto here. Alright, Wumpus Aberration. Turn 3, 6/6 Trampler. We kept a 1-lander, by the way. We kept a 1-lander. What the heck? Okay. think I want to set up with Path of Annihilation here. Down to one more colored source here with the Solar Transformer. But this does make it so these tap for mana of any color. So next, yeah, like my color situation will be completely fine next turn. And I can basically play everything. Now, they don't have something to disenchant, but I can obviously bounce something here with the Wastegate Battle Mage. And the Aberration is also just putting on a lot of pressure. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana potentially, although Aberration's not really going to want to tap for mana. Oh, nice. Twisted Riddle Keeper. Okay, that's fine. The question is, do I want to bounce it? Oh my gosh, never mind. Why don't we play that? Oh gosh. What a beating. What a beating. Holy cow. Titan's Vanguard off the top? Are you kidding me? Now, I can play the That Heralds the End and sack the 2 spawn, but I think this is just going to be an awesome Anthem effect next turn. Like, I played this in attack with Titan's Vanguard. That is ridiculous. No! Okay, they have... Alright. Alright. They've got goodies as well. They've got goodies as well. Wow. They are destroying me. Okay, we need something big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can play this, and it'll gain me life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can play this as well. It gives me the spawn back. And just gives me a large creature to play, so I think I want this. But... And I gained a bunch of life as well. It's just 2 blue... There's just 2 big Eldrazi deck just dropping haymakers back and forth. That's what's happening now. I'd love to be able to attack with this Wumpus Aberration, though. Come on. Null Drifter? Man! I mean, they're at 17. I don't think they want to attack. Wow. Okay. So I have this Wastegate Battle Mage that I can certainly use to bounce something and kill the other thing. Okay. Let's tap this for blue. Colorless. Colorless. Actually, hold on. Yeah, let's just do this. Colorless. Colorless. Oh, okay. Nope, I don't want to do that. Oh my gosh. This is kind of annoying, though, I will say. Alright, we'll do that. They have to block one of the 8 power creatures if I attack like this. And then I will play... Do I want to play the Basking Brood Scale? I guess it's technically bigger. Alright. I mean, this is kind of a ridiculous board, right? Like, if they want to play Null Drifter again, that's fine. They're at 6 life. And I have all of this attacking. Basically, I didn't want to bounce the 4-5 because that can lock down my Aberration. And I just want to put pressure because I have all these Eldrazi in my hand. Oh, that's a really good card, though, because that buys them time. Okay, so they're playing a bunch of ramp things, which means I don't think they're going to attack me with the Riddle Keeper. Oh, wow. Stump, stomp. Excellent. Okay, maybe they will attack me then. Okay. Well, the thing is, both of these creatures need to be blocked, right? Oh. 7 mana. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. Path of Annihilation is awesome. Look at what it's doing here, by the way. Like, they have to keep chumping every single turn. Oh, this thing tramples too? And we're gonna gain life? Like, this is amazing. Look at this. I'm at 10 and I just played a 6/8 reach creature. And I have a chump blocker here. Even if they, like, play another Riddle Keeper, we're not dead. They're at 3 life. I will say, though, the Eldrazi Mirrors do go on for a while. This is a great situation. I mean, they're just using this as a divination. I mean, Null Drifter is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But if they're using it as a divination, they're digging here. They're at 3 life. We have 5 creatures to their 2. Great, great spot for us to be in here. Yeah, people, take this card higher. If you're an Eldrazi ramp deck, this card is... There's so many good Signpost Eldrazi ramp uncommons, by the way. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, if I attack with everything, they're dead. Okay. Dreamtide Whale, interesting. I don't like that card very much. Especially in an Eldrazi deck. You're not able to double spell that much, but I guess if you have a lot of Proliferate, maybe, but... We are off to an incredible start here so far in this season. With the release of Modern Horizons, we are sitting at 9-0 so far. Okay, we are 2-0 with this hand. We have 4 lands. Yeah, certainly keeping this one. Couple of Eldrazi, a Glimpse the Impossible, which we can use to ramp out one of these large things as well. So definitely keeping this. Ooh. Mandibular Kite is definitely scary. Curious which land I want to go with here. This can draw me a lot of cards, potentially. I'm just gonna... Oops. I'm just gonna go ahead and fetch the island now. I'm very likely to play this Disciple of Freya-Lise, but if I draw a bunch of lands in a row, maybe I'll just do that instead. Alright, maybe, should I? I mean, it's triple green, though. Alright, I'm gonna go with the greedy line here. I don't know. Come on. Come on. Triple green is pretty hard, though. Oh well. That's interesting. I'm just gonna play that. Man, Twisted Riddle Keeper plus Monstrous Vortex is absurd. I'll keep Fanged Flames here. What did I bottom? Forest? Sure. Oh, Scurry of Gremlins is not... Yeah! They have the energy, but they can't give haste right now. All right. Here's to hoping. Here is to hoping. If they do not kill my Serum Visionary, then I can emerge out the Twisted Riddle Keeper and discover. That seems good. I'm hoping it's good. If they kill this, though, I'm in a lot of trouble. If they kill this, I have to, like... Oh, God, I have to Fang the Flame something? Maybe cast Glimpse the Impossible? Oh, this is horrible. No! 5 energy? Oh my gosh. Come on, I was trying to have fun. I was trying to have fun. Man, that's really aggressive, huh? I'll take it. I think I need to emerge this out. Just to try to stabilize. Yeah, okay. Well, if they use the removal spell on it, I mean, they could have done that at any point anyways. Path of Annihilation is interesting, but am I going to be dead beforehand? I mean, I guess I play it. I'm at 7. I can still chump, so... We will see. We will see. But this is what a good aggressive red-white deck looks like. Oh, man. It's dicey. It is dicey. Yeah. I mean, they just kind of had everything, though. They had the Prison and the Fanged Flame. Scurry is amazing. And sometimes the Eldrazi deck gets run over. It does happen. So they didn't have a land. The question is, do I block? Because I can play Warp Tusker next turn and go up to 5. But the thing is, if I block and don't draw a land, what do I do? Do I still have options? I can still Fanged Flames and cycle. I guess I'm gonna block just to stay at a higher life total. I'm not confident that that was the correct play, but I just really want to protect my life total here. Oh, no, I have Path of Annihilation, of course. Of course. I can still play a 7-drop. I can still play a 7-drop. If I draw a land, I can play an 8-drop. And tapping down 2 things in this spot seems pretty good. Also, they don't have an energy, so my Static Prison comes back if they don't play an Energy Maker, which is pretty good. So this is this is a big turn. It's just like, what can they do here to disrupt me? If they kill my 0/1, I think I might be dead. Voltstorm Angel. Oh my gosh. Wait, couldn't they have killed me? What the heck? Why wouldn't you play this pre-combat and give everything +1/+1? That seems like a very that seems like a missed opportunity, is all I'm gonna say. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, this is tough. I have access to 8 mana. Do I just play Twisted Riddle Keeper? Gain 4 life? Tap 2 things. I can play... No, can I do... I can't do that. This is rough. This doesn't tap for colorless, sadly, so I can't play this. What if I just cast this? I go to 8 and I have a reach creature and a chumper. Well, hopefully we're not dead. That is the hope here. If they kill my 0/1, I am dead. So yeah, I'm actually not sure. I mean, maybe I just had to play the Riddle Keeper, because if I play the Riddle Keeper, I can freeze 2 of these things, and then yeah, maybe I should have played. The problem is if I play the Riddle Keeper, I don't have any Eldrazi left. And so then I won't be able to play something else. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're dead. I mean, this was an excellent energy. I still think they should have. I still think they should have played that pre-combat in the previous turn. But yeah, this is an awesome red-white aggro energy deck, and certainly something that I want to try out, because I do think the red-white energy deck has the potential to go underneath the ramp decks, and that's exactly what our opponent was able to do. But it requires just a lot of really good cards. Like, you need a lot of these nice uncommons to be able to pull it off. But they did. They did. I don't even know if I would have won that game if I locked things down there, just because they had such an amazing follow-up, right? Such an amazing follow-up. All right. Certainly keeping this hand. Wow, this hand is amazing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to sack this. Let's go ahead and fetch our island. Turn 2 Transformer, turn 3 Voidcraw into potentially more big things. Yes, please. God, that last game, I just feel I was like so close. You know what I mean? It's one of those like, oh man, I'm so close. Yet so far. I mean, we have turn 3 Wumpus Aberration. I think we just do that again. I really don't want to play this, but maybe we have to? You know what? I feel like with the Voidcrawl, I'm very close to just being able to cast it, right? Can I just draw another land so I don't have to make that tough decision? Like, an untapped land would be awesome, because then I can just go Voidcrawl plus it that heralds the end. And that's a really great turn for us. Oh my gosh, what a beating. Oh, well, I have to play the land now. Jeez. Wayscape Battle Mage, that's a goodie. Yeah, usually you don't expect your artifact to get killed, but Wayscape Battle Mage is certainly one of the best cards for that. Next turn we have access to 6 mana, so we can't play the Drownyard Lurker yet, but we can still go It That Heralds the End plus Serum Visionary, which is a nice turn still. Wow, Stump Stomp. Yeah, they have... We're going to see a lot of this. I really hope this doesn't get old fast, but just... these really long, grindy Eldrazi mirrors. Yeah, they're killing all my mana. That's very rude. It's okay, we have the Serum Visionary still. Excellent fodder for the Twisted Riddle Keeper. Definitely would like to draw a colorless land here off the top. Oh, perfect. Wow. And I kind of want both. All right. Well, this thing hits really hard. So they're already at 7. And we have a bite spell available to gain a bunch of life. And remember, we can emerge the Riddle Keeper. And with the discount, this is emerge 6. And with the Visionary, that means for 3 mana, I can play a 5/5 that locks 2 things down. So next turn, I can potentially go Riddle Keeper. Oh, hopefully they don't have Horrific Assault. But they can't even kill my Wumpus Aberration. But they might kill it that heralds the end. Yeah, okay. So they have, like I said, they have a fantastic deck. It's very similar to ours. This is suicidal. This is just crazy. Straight crazy. But they did it anyways. Right. Maybe we block here. Actually, I don't know. Do I just not? Alright, whatever. Alright, we play this flyer. The question is, what do we tap down? It's just gotta be the 2 flyers, right? 2 creatures, right? I mean, they're 2 life. Alright, we got him. Twisted Riddle Keeper takes another opponent down. Like I said before, take that thing highly. It is completely bananas. I think I might bring it back up to A level, to be honest. It is so, so good. The emerge on it, so ridiculous. Alright, 3-1. What do we have here? 2 lands? It's got a lot of action, though. This is tough. I'm not even sure what to... I'm not even sure what to do. Do I keep this in my... Oh, no. Guide of Souls is amazing. Like, do I get a blue source right away? Or do I wait and play it that heralds the end? I guess I'll wait. Actually, I'm going to play the Basking Brood Scale here. Just because this does give me... This does allow me to ramp. So they have energy. Oh, that thing has haste? Okay. No, I really needed a land. Alright, well, let's kill Guide of Souls. I don't want that around. Curious what they're gonna do here. Servo? Sure. Oh, good with the Pyro Surfer, actually, yeah. Alrighty. The question here is, do I want to play it that heralds the end, or do I want to just adapt? If I want to adapt, I should just do it now. And then get a blue source, I guess. Oh, do I get a red source? Oh god. This is so hard. This is so hard. We'll wait, I guess. It's like, if I get a red source, next turn if I draw a land, I can play Titan's Vanguard, which seems awesome. I guess we just block. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna get a blue, because blue guarantees a Serum Visionary, which then smooths out the rest of my draws. So let's go with the blue. Okay, of course we draw a blue source. Of course! I will always keep Twisted Riddle Keeper on top. Okay. Okay. This is going reasonably well here for us. Man, they just mono-inspired inventors. All right, they're going to put probably a +1+... Oh, that is awesome. Oh, that is amazing. Yeah, putting it on the Pyro is very good. All right, now we'll just trade with an Inventor, but we are taking damage. This is actually not ideal here. I guess I'll play this. I can cycle the Drownyard Lurker, and that'll buy me some time. Hopefully they don't kill it that heralds the end. I mean, the tension here definitely exists, right? When I have this that I want to cast, but I also need the color fixing, there is tension there. I feel like everything just kind of crumbles if they can kill it that herald. Oh, jeez. All right, Boros aggro. Maybe that's the secret here. They are getting us good. Whew. Like, this is so... This is like the new Imidane's Recruiter. I guess we just block everything. Like this, something along those lines. And we take 7, and then I can kill Scurry and like bounce a servo. Okay. Let's go sack this and get a mountain right away. Actually, should I just bounce this and not care about this? Oh! I can also kill this and bounce that. No, I'm gonna kill this. I think I'd rather remove a +1/+1 counter than the token, I think. Just because that way I can trade with the Pyro Surfer. Metastatic Evangel, okay. Envoy of the Ancestors, and they get an energy, sure. Okay. They can't attack me this turn, and then I can play Titan's Vanguard. The land would be okay. We'll just chill here. Oh, Envoy of the Ancestors plus the Evangel is really nice, because they can put a counter on this and then put another counter on it, turning it into a 4/5. We are 2 mana sources away from any of these other things. Glimpse the Impossible is very nice with Titan's Vanguard. But I don't get the spawn until end of turn, so it doesn't work right away. Okay. Wait, so they didn't want to get a +1/+1 counter here? Interesting. Maybe they have a removal spell? Nope, they just didn't sequence it properly. Okay. I mean, I will accept it, obviously. cast Glimpse. See what we get. Too bad we can't play the Path of Annihilation. That's unfortunate. The question is, do I want to play It That Heralds the End? I feel like I do. Over Solar Transformer. Get in there, pump my other creatures. Get a couple of spawns. Okay. This is something. This is definitely something. I mean, that was a pretty good turn. We got to put an It That Heralds with two Scion... I keep calling them Scions because that's what they were in the previous set. Spawns. And then next turn I get to basically just totally stabilize here with the Breaker of Creation. Which is kind of the hope here. Double landfall here, though, on the Reckless Pyro Surfer, so that's a lot of damage. I do have this 5/5. I'm at 7. Wow. No way. Jeez, they did 7 damage out of nowhere in the skies. Man, these Boros decks are getting me good. Flying? Man, Glasswing Grace is phenomenal. But I did not expect to take 7 damage in one turn. Good beats. Oh, that's brutal. I mean, I could have... Look. I could expect... The thing is the evasion, right? Like, it's just really hard to anticipate that coming. So, can't feel too bad about that. That's just kind of something that can happen. Ah! We were so close to stabilizing. Man. Man. It's okay. It happens. Alright. This looks like a 1-lander, but it's actually a 3-lander. So I will keep this with a Solar Transformer. This hand's actually great. I will lead with Drowner of Truth. I think we have plenty to do with our mana. This is a blue-green tap land turn 1. That seems fantastic. Turn 2 Solar Transformer into maybe Brute Scale plus It That Heralds. Oh no. We have an every stopper. Okay. So Twisted Landscape, getting a forest. The alternative is to just play this and adapt it. And get immediate value out of this, and then play the It That Heralds a turn after. That might be better, honestly. So what are they playing? Green... Wait. Green-black splash Obstinate Gargoyle, I guess? That's what it looks like. Yeah. Okay, so they're doing some Abzan adapt shenanigans, it feels like. Yeah, playing this and adapting and then playing this allows me to just kind of attack for 4 out of nowhere. Doesn't seem bad. I assume they're going to take this white. It's a 4/4. That is really strong. That's a really nice combination. Yeah, let's just activate this right away. The reason why I'm doing this right away is because... if they remove my Brute Scale in response to the Adapt, I won't get a Spawn token. So you want to do it... Oftentimes, if you don't have anything else to do, or you don't want to leave up a trick, you just adapt right away. Because if they play like a... You know, let's say Wither and Bloom in response to the activation, then you don't get a Spawn. And we know that these decks require mana very, very badly. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana sources, meaning if we play the Disciple of Freyalise and then play the It That Heralds, Warp Tusker would cost 6 mana. So they didn't have... So I guess that's why they were tanking, because the White of the Reliquary they can't play right away, and they only have green mana. This is actually extremely interesting. This is the best use of my mana. Oh, I don't have the colorless mana. Never mind. I don't have a way to make red and colorless unless I sacrifice this. So I think in that case, I will just play It That Heralds the End. Attack for 4. And I can probably hold the Disciple. We're getting up there in terms of like we have lots of mana available to us. I can even cycle this if I really need. But next turn, I can play this for 6 mana, and then can you imagine if I sacrifice this to draw 6 cards? I mean, I know I'm sacrificing something big, but I'm drawing 6 cards. That seems like it's going to be pretty hard to grind, especially because we're the aggressor right now. They're going to probably need to stabilize and just run out White of the Reliquary. Maybe. It's currently a 4/4. We'll see. I mean, they do have access to 4 mana. They can play something else big. But yeah, they just played a 4/4, probably trading with the Basking Brood Scale here. All right, let's just go ahead and play the Warped Tusker. Sack a spawn, but make a spawn, right? And we played a 7/9 reach creature. Yep. What was that on? Turn... Played this turn 2. No, turn 3. Turn 4. Yeah, turn 5, Warped Tusker. Turn 5, 7/9 reach. Not bad. Oh, I draw an extra card. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I can play this next turn, sack this, and draw 7 cards? Whew. If it's wrong, I don't want to be right. If it's wrong, I don't want to be right. Airy Auxiliary. Okay. That does make it so that my Basking Brood Scale can't attack. They can also sack their spawn and put a land into play, which is pretty good. Alright, what do we have? The problem here is if I attack, they can triple block. Oh, what they're... Actually, no, never mind. What they're gonna do is sack with their spawn and get a land. So I think what I should do here is just... I should just play this. The question is, do I want to draw 7 cards here or 4? Maybe 4 is enough, right? Just because I feel like a 7/9 body is still just really, really good on this board. Yeah, let's just draw 4. That seems like it will be good enough. It's like, do I want... The thing is, I would be discarding a bunch of cards too, right? If I drew 7, I draw 3 more cards. I have 9 cards in hand, I discard 2 cards, so... If I got to keep all the cards, I think I would consider drawing 7, but... Here, I just... The 7/9 reach body just seems amazing. And now that I found the Horrific Assault, I can use that to kill the White of the Reliquary, so they can't do the block sack shenanigans. And then... we can also just deploy everything else. I mean, our hand is great here. We have the bounce effect on the Battle Mage. We can play Breaker of Creation. It costs 7 mana. 5, 6, 7. We do have access to 7 mana next turn. We'll see what they do. It looks like they want to kill It That Heralds the End. Does make everything cost more. But I am hoping that they tap out so that the coast is clear here for the Horrific Assault. Signature Slam. Oh. This is why this card is great, by the way. Right? When comparing it to Clear Shot, it was literally murder. Because they have all modified creatures. Damn. Wow, they're going to be able to swing in for a pretty significant amount here. That thing has Vigilance. They can hit me for 9. I don't think I want to double block. But they're being a little bit more conservative. Okay. And they're keeping up 3 mana, so that is definitely kind of scary. So I think I'm just going to play the Breaker. Also, I gain 9 life. With 3 mana available, I just don't want to do some fiddly, like, horrific assault nonsense. Let's just play the 9/5 first. They can't kill it. The only thing you can do with this is trade, right? Is there... Or if they play a sweeper, I guess. Oh, that's super nice. Do you see that outline, by the way? It's like hexproof from all the colors, so it's this weird, like, rainbow... Oh, man, this looks awesome. Shout out to the Arena team. That looks great. Hexproof from all colors. Alright, our opponent has decided to make a play. Okay. Drowner of Truth. Pretty good. Plenty of things to sacrifice. The question here is, what do I want to actually kill? And what do I want to bounce? Do I want to kill the 7/6 or the 5/5? I don't want to bounce this because it just gives them more scions, right? Or spawns, rather. So why don't we go ahead and... Do they... Okay, let's just bounce the white. Yeah, this is great. We can bounce the white, then we can horrific assault the Drowner of Truth, and then attack. I feel like there's not much people can do for 2 colorless mana, so I'm hoping this works. Oh yeah, it sure did. Now we get to bash. Annihilator 2. Ooh, yeah. This was a good turn, I'm just gonna say. This was a good turn, and then I think we could even get our opponent by just killing them with a Void Pouncer out of nowhere. Really huge tempo turn here. They're gonna have to sacrifice lands and chump block Breaker of Creation, most likely. Yeah, maybe this attack was a little bit aggressive, but granted, we needed 2 interactive spells this turn, and obviously it's very, very hard to play around something like that. And Disciple of Fraelis, these spell lands doing all the work. Monstrous Vortex, don't want that. Do I want It That Heralds? Yeah, I do. I mean, it's a 2-mana 2/2 that gives 4 of my creatures +1/+1. I mean, they're 5 life. What are they going to do here? They have to play a sweeper of some kind, right? Wait, does this work? Vortex plus a kicked Void Pouncer? Do I have the mana? I don't know if I have the mana to do everything. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana for... Yeah, I don't have the mana to also play It That Heralds the End. And I imagine that it's most likely that I'm just going to want to play It That Heralds the End and then kill them with the Void Pouncer, just because that's just a lot more stats on the battlefield. But I am a sucker for value. I am a sucker for value. Alright, Evolution Witness. Ain't gonna get it done, I don't think. They're at 5 live, yeah. I'm just gonna go with It That Heralds the End into the Void Pouncer. This should be more than enough. Seven, 5. Boom. Breaker of Creation, I'm telling you, this is... I misread this card at first. I didn't see that it counted... I didn't think that your lands were colorless permanents. So I was thinking all your other Devoid cards, and I still thought it was okay. But given that it just gains you like 6 or 7 life, and it's a built-in 3-for-1, this is the perfect type of card. Alright. Opponent at -10, Disciple of Freyalise. Taking us where we need to go. Just need to avoid the Boros aggro decks. Those are the ones that have our number, apparently. But it's okay. We got to 4 wins, so we're kind of... 4 wins is what you want to break even on gems, roughly. But if we pick up win number 5, then we get to profit. And we know all Magic players love value. Definitely keeping this hand. Oh, why did I lead with that? Whatever. Okay. Tamiyo? I should have gotten a... Oh, I don't even have a green source. Never mind. I don't even have a green source. Dang, this is annoying. Do I just play this and try to race? It hits a lot harder if I play it that heralds the end. Yeah. I mean, like, with a turn 1 Tamiyo, I just feel like it's going to be pretty hard to race them. Okay. Alright. Yeah, and then now we get to play it that heralds the end, so this is good. And then we drew a green land, so we'll definitely play that here. And then we have Signature Slam and Horrific Assault. Okay. Okay, okay. Wastscape Battle Mage. Does that do anything? I can use it to bounce something, but right now there's nothing really worth bouncing. I suppose I can bounce it that heralds the end and attack. Right, they're at 12. Now, they can play something big here. Okay. Alright, that's not too bad. They're probably going to want the Tusker or the Meddler seems pretty good. Monstrous Vortex is interesting. All right, let's go something like that. I'm hoping this works. We're just trying our best to put as much pressure on them as possible. I don't need a second red, so I'll probably just keep this around. Because I do have 2 double colorless cards. Alright, that's a Drownyard Lurker. And, well, there goes all of our beatdowns. Basking Broodscale. They're at 6 life. Yeah, see, they're just going to stabilize with all their Eldrazi. That's the rough part here. Like, do I kill this Tamiyo? And not attack? Ugh, it's just such a bad use of my resources. But I guess I have to. And then we'll just pass. Like, they eat something and then they block and they go to 4. Alright, I think I do need to get a green source here with Urza's Cave. So I'll go ahead and do that. That way I can go Basking Broodscale and then activate. Yep, they are certainly stabilizing here. Let's get a forest. Monstrous Vortex does not work with the Dread Mask. I'll activate this now. I mean, they're at 6. We've got a formidable force. Can't attack just yet, but we're it makes it so that it's difficult for them to attack me, right? But the Tamiyo certainly drew them a bunch of cards. I'm hoping this Monstrous Vortex gets me there. I have this Dread Mask as well. At the moment, it doesn't quite get me big enough to attack. I guess I can give this turn everything really, really big. The problem is this by itself can't even attack through the Warp Tusker. Okay, Snapping Void. Alright, this is rough. The later this goes, the more difficult it becomes for us. Okay, let's put that bottom. So that was also really great for them. Oh, and they're attacking me. Actually seems like a totally fine attack. Alright, well, we'll play the Dread Mask here just because I think this is going to slow them down. Because I can double block now. So let's play the Dread Mask and then just pass. And yeah, this is going to go on for a bit longer. The classic blue-green Eldrazi. Now, the thing is, the Dread Mask does do a pretty good job of kind of breaking stalemates, but I just feel like with the turn 1 Tamiyo, our opponent was just able to get a lot more value out of their cards than us. Oh, wow. Brain Surge as well. This might be the end of the line here, folks. This might just be. Sage of the Noble might also be quite good. I mean, I feel like I want to draw a 6-drop. You know what I mean? It's going to be a 3/3 flyer, probably. Yeah. Alright, Warp Tusker down. 2 for 1-ing ourselves in the process. Alright, Monstrous Vortex, and... Don't worry, it doesn't do anything. Trust me, it doesn't do anything. There was a game where it did something. This is not that game. But at least we had the one game where it did something. It's possible. I mean, depending on what happens here, it's possible I need to upkeep Sacrifice and actually not draw the Dread Mask. Yeah, yep. I think I need to sacrifice. This is a desperation time here for me. So let's sack this. And see if we can draw the 5-mana 5/5 Eldrazi card. Nope, just a Path of Annihilation. Well, maybe that lets us survive just long enough for... Like, the way that we can win is we survive long enough so that we can chain a bunch of monstrous vortexes together and come back. But, like, we literally need to draw something next turn. Assuming we're not dead this turn. Decree of Justice? What? This format, man, you just generate so much mana. I just feel like all you're supposed to do is take ramp effects and expensive things or draft red-white. Man, alright, well, I guess we're dead. Oh! I mean, I'm gonna play it. It's not gonna be enough. It's not gonna be close. Decree of Justice, come on! Oh, wait, does this happen again? What? That's insane! Okay, hey, look. At least that was an awesome turn, right? At least that was an awesome turn. I don't think we can win from this spot. But that was an awesome turn, I will say. Twisted Riddlekeeper into Drownyard Lurker to get double activation on Monstrous Vortex and Path of Annihilation. Man. I'm at 11 though. Am I just dead if they attack me with everything? I guess they're just taking more game actions, but I'm literally dead if they attack with everything. They have to see it. They have to just be like, well, they have 11 in the air. Or they have... If I block the 4/4, I'm just dead. Yeah. Oh well. I feel like almost anything else I would have been fine, actually. But Decree of Just... Like, 5 4/4 Angels is gonna get it done, right? And there's just not much we can do. That's just some... That is a mirror breaker. And I think that's what's gonna happen. The format's gonna continue to evolve where... It's like, okay, these Eldrazi decks just constantly just stall out. How can I go over the top? Decree of Justice, where normally, at first, I didn't think it was the type of card that would be all that great. But I feel like if this is what the format evolves into, where you're just ramping into and just trying to go over the top, absolutely that's the type of card that you want. Because absolutely you can get to... Getting to 12 mana is just not hard. You get to 12 mana and you get 3/4/4 flyers? That's great. We had some close ones against the Boros decks too. I feel like we were very close to at coming back in those matchups as well. And so I do think in order to beat those decks, you do need to make sure that you have enough early interaction. And that's just not always the case when you draft green. The Eldrazi ramp decks, you really have to prioritize Basking Broodscales and the Nightshade Dryads, the 2-mana 1/2 Death Touch, to kind of allow you to kind of get into the late game. Horrific Assault obviously helps. The Eldrazi Repurposer also helps, the 3-mana 3/3. And of course, the MVP, the best common in the set, Writhing Chrysalis, is also fantastic at allowing you to get to the late game. That is also a really, really important card. So what do we learn here? Once again, Twisted Riddlekeeper is absolutely phenomenal. Breaker of Creation, also really, really strong. Spell lands continue to be impressive. Even the Disciple of Freyalis, right? The fact that we were able to cast this and have it do a lot of work was great. Wumpus Aberration definitely hit hard. If they don't have a removal spell, it can end games very quickly. Path of Annihilation was fantastic, but I will say Monstrous Vortex, not as good. Because if you draw this in the late game, it doesn't do anything. And you're going to need to get 2 spells worth of value to have this be worth it. So I don't think this is a card that you should take very highly. Path of Annihilation, though, is ridiculous, right? Because with Monstrous Vortex, you play this and you don't get anything out of it. But with Path of Annihilation, you get a bunch of mana, right? A bunch of mana to allow you to play your big things and gain you life. So this card is fantastic. The Vortex, not quite so much. But all in all, I just think Eldrazi Ramp is going to be one of the strongest things to do. I'm going to try to explore the other archetypes, and I did try in this. I started out black-green, and then I kind of moved into potentially blue-black, and then we kind of shifted back into this combination just because we just saw a ton of it that heralds the end, and we just saw a bunch of the Eldrazi. But draft number 2 in the books, 4 and 3, hoping we can continue putting up some results so we can go straight into Mythic on our journey to rank 1. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to hit the like or subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed the content and wanted to support the channel in another way, I do have a Patreon channel. The link to the Patreon is in the description below, patreon.com/paulcheon. Additionally, I do have a sponsor. Check out heavyplay.com/paulcheon for premium Magic the Gathering products. We're talking about deck boxes. This is not a deck box. This is a dice box. It's a magnetic dice box. So it actually snaps shut by itself, which is pretty cool. Check it out. Heavyplay.com/paulcheon. The link is in the description below for 10% off your first order. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.